Hello, Wellness Fam, and welcome to our second play episode of Dungeons and Wellness. So happy to have you. My name is Michelle, and I will be your DM for today. And joining us, we have our players, Steve. Oh, hi, Steve.
What up?
Thank you for coming back.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we have Dru.
Hello.
Hi, Dru.
I'm also here.
Love clap.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. And of course, we have Miss Michelle.
Hello.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Yay. And thank you for coming back, Michelle.
Oh, of course. I wanted to be back.
What would we do without Nifty?
What would we do indeed?
So, speaking of Nifty, I wanted to spend the first couple minutes of today's video just briefly recapping what happened last time for people who were not here for play episode 1, or, if you're like, let's just get to the latest story and you couldn't be bothered to watch play episode 1, no worries. Let's do like a 60-second summary. So, pals, we were all here. We started off in the city of Denaria. Oh. Now, in the city of Denaria, our human boy Rand experienced some strange events. Steve, would you like to describe a little bit of what Rand experienced?
He saw some townsfolk, including like the speaker of the town, Farmer Cranach, gathered in a barn, saying some pretty nasty things, some pretty ethnocentric, racist things about outsiders, and then saying some nonsense about the Naria is the light, which he never heard him say anything like that before. Almost sounded like some type of a cult was being established. And he was there with his two friends, Nifty and Caesar, and, he was a little freaked out by that.
Understandably. I mean, Rand, as described in last episode, was just a simple, boy living.
17-year-old farm boy, idle, gazes up at the moon and thinks about all the pretty girls in town and the festival and all that. So he's lived a pretty idle life,
Right.
He's been protected. So.
Yes. Oh, so, poor Rand, he had quite a day. So not only was Farmer Cranach acting all types of crazy, but then in the middle of Farmer Cranach's weird speech, Nifty and Caesar heard a knock at the door. So, who did you meet, Nifty or Michelle?
We met a traveling group named Soup, and I can't remember the other two, but Soup was very, very memorable indeed.
Yes, so we met a small band of heroes, Soup the halfling. We also met Dimly the dwarf and Lady Evelyn the elf. And those were 3 adventurers who were just seeking shelter for the night and happened to stumble upon Denaria. So while we were talking to them, we heard some crazy stories about their adventures and all the challenges that they've had to face. And we got to witness some of the effects that those experiences had on those travelers and those heroes. So after meeting Soup, Lady Evelyn, and Dimly, you all were so inspired and decided to, head off on your own journey. So on your journey, you said, okay, let's do this. We're going to get out of this tiny little village and explore the world.
Steve, can you remind us the name of the city that we're going to?
Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. Yes.
It's the it would be like the equivalent of going from, I guess, White Plains to Manhattan.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
The biggest city
On
in the
foot.
area. On
Yes.
foot in the middle of the night.
Yep.
Yes. So who knows? There might even be smaller cities along the way before you get to the massive metropolis of Waterdeep. And also, Waterdeep is on the Sword Coast. And at the moment, all we know is that we're somewhere in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Not a path.
hopefully, yeah. Hopefully we get more clues as to how close or far we are from Waterdeep. So, on the way, adventuring towards Waterdeep, Rand's dream. Almost as soon as you set foot outside of the town, unfortunately, Caesar, you had a not so friendly encounter. Can you describe where we left off last time?
We startled a goblin, and the goblin is irrational. He's very upset. They're very upset. I don't know what. They're very upset, and they're fairly insistent that we have stolen something from them. And then, upon our reassurances that we have in fact not stolen anything from them, they interpret that as deception, as prevarication. And so, yeah, I think at that point, it was clear that we needed to engage in some sort of altercation with this goblin. It appears that the goblin was approaching us with violent intent, and so I think that's where we last were.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, beautiful. I couldn't have said it better myself. And thank you also for, I guess, warming us up for Caesar's overeducated lexicon.
Yes.
Nice. Dipping our toes into the water there.
That's what that is.
All planned. So yeah, as we headed out of town, we ran into that goblin, and just like you said, the goblin won't trust what you're saying, and they're just so insistent that you must have stolen something, and if you say otherwise, it must be a lie. Okay, so I think that just about sums up last episode, and now we are ready for play episode 2.
Ooh.
So bring us in, Drew.
Here we are.
All right, here we are. You can't mistake Caesar for literally anybody else. Okay, so here we are in the same place where we left off last time. And whoosh. So the goblin, if you recall, is at your kneecap. The goblin says, I don't believe any of you. You're lying, you stole from me, and you're bad liars too. And the goblin just starts like gnawing on your leg where it can reach you. It's biting into you.
Before we left, we went back to my parents, I believe, and didn't I find, like, my grandfather had a sword?
Yes.
Hidden in like I knew where it was. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to use it, but I took it with us. But
we are fighting this creature, right? Like there isn't, like, we don't foresee at this point an option to like reconcile with this creature. We have thought about.
Oh, he thinks your kneecaps are hamburgers. So
right, like he is. We are. So we are
currently being eaten. So
okay,
I feel like you should do something, or we should do something.
Just on that, just wanted to make sure before we pulled in. Okay, just wanted to make sure we were clear on that before. I didn't want to jump the gun.
Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yes, clarity is nice.
May I shoot a firebolt at the goblin?
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna stop you.
Okay.
You might want to get him off your kneecap first. It might engulf like part of you as well.
That's a good point. Yeah. So
like
set something on fire. Yeah. How about Oh, what I could do. Yeah, I don't know. Can I just kick it? Can I kick the goblin? What's the comparative size of me and the goblin? If I just like kick at the goblin, will that fling him away, or is he like really, really on there?
You're a wood elf, a high elf.
Yeah.
So you would be
Huh?
like within like 5'10", maybe a little shorter than that. The goblin would probably be up to your waist, I would imagine.
Okay,
Maybe
I'm gonna.
a little taller than that.
Is there a mechanic for me to just kick the thing?
We would probably do like a contested strength check,
Yeah,
maybe.
Let's check.
Yeah.
Well, that's not gonna go well.
You never know, man.
I
Okay,
could run up and try to pull the goblin off of you.
that sounds like a better idea.
All right. I run up there. Can we move these icons or?
I believe you can. Can you try?
I can move mine at least.
Yeah,
mine's
I can
not
move mine.
moving.
Oh, okay.
Brand
Good
is
to know.
petrified.
Well,
He's hiding behind Michelle. No.
I guess he's never seen a goblin before.
Actually, he hasn't. He probably would be a little freaked out.
Oh.
But he sees his friends are in trouble. All right.
Good.
Let's just say I run up there and I grab it from the back and I try to throw it off of him.
All right. So then, can you give me a strength check?
Sure. Let's see. Is this sidebar going to work here, or should I go on the roll 20, like separately?
I guess let's roll in roll 20, just so all the audience can see your rolls as well.
All right. Oh, there it is. 10.
Okay, nice. And then I will do
I'm
my.
showing him as like a 0 level character now. I haven't written up his character sheet, so I don't know what his strength is at the moment. So
Oh,
I
okay.
should not give him a bonus.
That works.
He's a
Goblins.
farm lad, but you know.
Yeah, I mean he's
Wouldn't be fair,
a farm boy. And also I will say goblins are not renowned for their strength. I rolled a 5, so you definitely won that strength check. So where will you drag this goblin?
I'll throw him off of. So if I were here, I'll throw him in like the middle of all of us, so he's surrounded by us, like maybe around here where the arrow is.
Here.
Nice.
It'll be in between the three of us.
Okay.
Because only
one
group is in the dense brush.
Okay.
Once he does that, can I like pull my longbow and just like aim at him? I won't shoot or anything, but I'll like threaten and aim.
Okay. So, Steve, are you able to move your token at this point, by the way?
No, I'll leave it where it is.
Okay. Okay. So then, yes, you toss the goblin.
Anyway. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so he would be exactly.
Okay. So you toss the goblin over. He lands with a little thunk, and he says, "Ugh, my head." And then Nifty, you look down at him, you pull yourself up to your tallest stature, and you go, "Huh!" And you point your arrow menacingly. And something about that. Just the goblin looks up at you and he says, a fellow small one. I just, what? And then the goblin just pukes a little bit with a panicked look on his face. And he says, okay, keep my gold, whatever. And he starts dragging himself away into the woods.
Nice.
We won.
Poor goblin.
All right.
I was gonna talk to him, but no, I guess not.
Okay, well, the goblin has dragged himself away. And it's interesting because as the goblin is pulling themselves away, you hear a lot more rustling in the bushes than you would expect. But whatever. The forest is dense. You can't see through the trees.
Let me.
Can I do like a perception check?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Ooh, okay, sure. Yeah, do a perception check. Go for it.
All right. This one. Did that do something? No. Oh, there it is.
There you
I perceive nothing.
You look into the woods and you see, yes, there are in fact trees, and every tree does in fact have a shadow.
Guys, I see
Okay.
nothing.
Can I go up there and look with her and try to find out what's that rustling coming from? Can't just be from him.
Sure. Yeah, you can do a perception check as well.
All right.
Nice, nice. Okay, so with a 13, as you peer into the woods over Nifty's shoulder, or just over Nifty in general, you notice, like, yes, there's rustling, and then as you listen closely, you hear like a snorting, like
I mean, I've hunted in these woods. Do I recognize it?
oh, you've hunted in these woods? Okay, then it reminds you a lot
Yeah,
of
they're
the
the woods
sound.
around the town. So my friends and I would have gone out here hunting for
Sure, yeah.
for
In that
deer
case-
or whatever, or
Yes, in that case, you recognize it as the sound of wild boars.
Uh-oh. I'll
Okay.
look over my shoulder and say, guys, there are wild boars here. They're dangerous.
Oh, boars.
We should
Hey, maybe we
probably.
can eat them.
Well, I don't have my bow, but I could. Nifty has a bow.
I do have a bow.
We might be getting hungry soon. We could get a boar.
What time of day is it? Is it still like morning?
Yep, yeah. Not a lot of time has passed since our last
Yeah,
episode.
I could gut it, cut it up into quarters and whatnot. And we have a nice little rations for us.
Up to you guys.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna use the light cantrip so that we can see what's going on.
Okay. All right. So what does the light cantrip do exactly?
It makes a space where people can see. It emits light in darkness.
A 20-foot radius. Aha. Okay. Okay. I see. Doop.
So while they're concentrating on that,
Uh-huh.
actually, I'll write you a little note in the chat here.
Okay. All right. So Caesar is casting. Okay. So Caesar casts the light cantrip. And he kind of just zoom, casts it into the distance, hoping that there's just more light so we can see what's going on. And when he casts that cantrip, you hear a startled, and then a glowing boar comes out of the woods and approaches you.
Oh, have I hit the boar with the cantrip? Or is the boar an irradiated monster?
Yeah, you hit the boar with your cantrip.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Thank you for clarifying.
Not Borzilla.
Yeah. Just wanted to double check.
Okay. So the boar kind of slowly looks up at you, assessing the situation. It's not attacking you yet, but it's looking at you guys. What do you do?
Maybe it's friendly.
We established earlier, or there was the thought earlier that boars are dangerous, but this one does not seem to be particularly dangerous. It does seem to be glowing, though. Can I try to assess if the boar is a friendly creature or if it has any malintent?
How would you assess that?
Just vibes. I don't know. Maybe walk towards it a little bit and see if it attacks. I step forward with a peaceful high elf kind of vibe.
Okay. As you step forward, it squeals and then it just turns tail and it bolts away.
No, that was our lunch.
Do we want to kill the thing? Because we can still do that.
I mean, it ran away. Might as well just let it go.
That sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Should we continue on here? Should we commence our journey?
Let's do it.
Sweet. So we're walking.
Yep. So you can proceed along the path. As you walk, you're just surrounded by dense woods. The path, as you can see, has been like carved through the forest. And you can tell that it's like relatively well traveled. It's not an abandoned path by any means, but if you stray off the path, you can tell it's very overgrown and dense. Okay.
This is a well-traveled path.
Okay, so Steve, you still can't control your token? Oh, Steve, you there?
Oh no, did we lose him?
Oh. Rand now. Well, I've delivered Rand.
Hi, Rand. Nice of you to join us finally.
Oh, hey. No, I don't do a good Steve impersonation. Steve is irreplaceable.
It's kind of a bend in the trail here.
Mm-hmm.
So as we're walking, let's talk. Walk and talk. So what do you hope to find in Waterdeep, Caesar?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just kind of floating along. He will come back soon. Floating along, looking for new stuff. An overeducated elf that's been wandering the world rootlessly. Oh, looks like a fork in the path here. It's a classic conundrum. Or is this a fork in the path, or is this?
I also see a fork.
What do you think?
But no, yeah, broadening your horizons and elsewhere sounds like a great idea.
Hey.
That's why I'm traveling with you guys.
Hey, it's a good. Where'd you come from, by the way? You where
Oh, I actually came from a small town, not too far from here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It seems to be the majority of the population at this point in time is small town living. We haven't had that shift to urban sites. So what do you think about this fork in the road here? What do you want to do?
What do we see, DM? Is there anything we can perceive from either side?
If you kind of
My computer battery died.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh wow, super fast comeback for a dead computer battery.
Very well done. We found ourselves at a fork in the road, Steve, and we're trying to figure out which way to go.
Okay.
Steve, do you want me to say the thing?
Sure.
Okay, so actually you can announce it then since you're here. What does Rand do? Why do we not see him?
Oh, you told them that I'm not there?
Well, we were just talking, and I guess we didn't realize that you had disappeared. You're just
Yeah, I
yelling.
disappeared. You don't know where I am.
Oh shit! Where's
Oh,
where's
no.
Rand at?
We were just walking and talking, and we didn't know that Rand just disappeared on us. Can we retrace our steps and just try to find
Yeah,
if, like, he, like,
Guess
you know,
maybe we'll go back and.
yeah.
Well, Rand.
So we start walking back. Do we see, like, his footsteps anywhere?
Do we see where his where his footsteps stop? Like, is there a? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Nifty is a ranger.
I believe so, yes.
Yes.
Oh, you would definitely.
So an investigation check?
Sure, go for it.
Ooh, nice. 18.
Ooh, nice. So those videos are the best, Drew. Oh my gosh. Also, to the audience, that was 100%, like all the amazing little clips. That's all Drew. So thank you, Drew, for putting those together. They're hilarious.
Of course.
Okay. So Nifty, with your amazing ranger spidey senses, you can tell. Oh, so you can tell that Rand he's not that far. And you can sense that Rand, like something had just come over him. And he actually ended up chasing that goblin that had run away from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, Rand, would you like to? Oh, okay. So you can sense that, like, Rand went chasing after the goblin. And the last thing you remember is kind of like standing there looking into the dense woods with Rand peering out from behind you. And now, as you look around, you see Rand again, coming out of that same patch of dense woods, except his sword is out, and it's streaked and dripping with blood.
I'm reaching down, grabbing some leaves, and just like trying to wipe it off.
What's going on,
where
Rand?
did you go?
I didn't trust that goblin. I chased him down, and yeah, he turned and he took his knife out on me, and so we fought. So I had no choice. I had to kill him.
Oh, wow. Okay. Are you all right? I mean, that's pretty intense.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. He would have just, he knows Rand's like kind of like stuttering a bit. He seems nervous. He would have just gone and gotten some other goblins and probably chased us down in the middle of the night.
Nifty reaches over and puts a hand on his shoulder as far as she can reach, even though she's short of stature. But
down.
Yeah. And she says, "But is this the first time you've killed someone?"
I've never fought before.
That's got to be pretty intense, man. Like,
yeah.
He turns around, he just he pukes.
Yeah, that's legit.
He puts the sword back in the sheath, and he's like, "Oh, maybe we can get something. Maybe we can eat something. I'm getting kind of hungry."
Yeah, well, we can keep walking. We can talk about it later if you want to. We don't have to talk about it later.
Sure.
Whatever you need, let's just.
Yeah, he just walked with his head down, like, yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
He's not really looking at you guys, like, yep.
Well, let's keep on going. Then there's a fork in the road up here, Rand, and I would love to have your take on it. I feel like you'd know these woods better than I do.
Let's see.
As we're walking to the fork in the road.
Let's go north.
Sounds good. Looks a little.
The south would just lead us back towards. It's like cut back towards the village.
Oh, good call. See, you're great at this kind of thing.
As we're walking north, I quietly say to Rand, "I threw up my first time too."
I feel kind of sick, actually.
That's understandable.
You guys. Oh.
Oh.
I start singing a jaunty tune. just kind of for fun.
Got
Is it
any specific jaunty?
I don't know. I
He's
feel
gotta
like
be anti-racist.
I feel like my character is a little uncomfortable with all of this, and is kind of just I'm just sort of singing "Oh do 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 do." Maybe it's a song about some wizard that did something cool sometime. There was a wizard, did some stuff, and he was really smart. I'm just just kind of ignoring what's going on.
I'll join in with you. He wasn't so smart. He was just a wizard.
Oh, okay.
Oh my.
No offense to Caesar, who is a smart wizard.
Much appreciated. All right, I think we got another fork here. It looks like this way would go back to
go towards the right.
Yeah.
And we're listening for sounds, from the woods. I assume Nifty's looking at the ground for footprints because, where there's one goblin, there might be a lot of goblins.
Yeah, I'm looking. Since we saw that boar, I'll just keep looking for boar tracks, and I'm not really looking for more goblin tracks per se.
All right.
Why not? You can't trust them. They're all the same.
What makes you think that?
Goblin's a goblin. What my dad always used to say.
Well, have you ever questioned your dad? Maybe he's.
Why would I question my dad?
There are other, creatures out there in the world.
Well, he was right, wasn't he? I mean,
Guys, I think there's something up here. I'm not totally sure what it is.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you. Like I told
What
you.
do you see?
I told you guys. He turned and he tried to fight me. There's nothing I could have done about it.
Yeah, no, that sounds really scary, man. I'm glad you're okay.
Caesar, can you give me a perception check?
I can absolutely do that. What's the modifier for perception checks? Or is there one?
Did you make your character attributes?
Yes.
Okay.
Modifier, I believe.
Yes.
Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have a 7 total.
7 total. Okay. So at this point, you can hear actually what sounds like mumbling human voices.
What is that? Is that like a tent or?
Oh yeah. So yes, you see the corner of a tent.
Okay.
And
Is there a fire? Like a campfire or?
Where are you? Okay, from there.
I'm down here.
You can't see a campfire from where you are.
Sounds like there's some people up there. Should we go address them, or should we just kind of scoot by them? I don't know what the protocol is here.
We can address them, I think. What do you think, Nifty?
We can always say hi. I mean, as long as they're not pointing weapons at us.
It sounds like they're still awake, so maybe we'll walk over and say hello.
I mean, brigands haven't been known to be in these forests. It's too close to town, so.
All right. Do you say anything as you approach?
Hello. Just walking through the woods. Figured we'd say hi. Don't want to startle you.
And as you approach, you see that, Steve, there is in fact a campfire. Yes. Mm-hmm. And around the campfire, you see 3 figures. One is the figure closest to you is what appears to be a bald, middle-aged human man. He looks quite gruff, and he's kind of like in cheap armor, protective gear. Then over here, we have We have an older gentleman, white hair, and just like sparse white hair, and also similar protective gear and body armor. And then finally, third figure here is a younger boy, probably just Rand. When you look at this boy, you feel that he's probably around your age or maybe a little bit younger.
Do I recognize any of them?
No, you do not recognize any of them.
I'll hail
So-
them.
Okay, so you approach, Rand hails Caesar, you announce the party.
Hail Caesar.
Nice.
Ba-dum-tsh.
And the man closest to you, he gets up and he says, well, hello there, travelers. You seem like a friendly bunch. Nice to meet you, Caesar. I'm Vic. And he offers his hand for a handshake.
I'm gonna shake Vic's hand. He seems like a stand-up guy.
All right.
I'll introduce myself and our friend Nifty and say we're from Denaria. We're going to Waterdeep.
As soon as you say the word Denaria, Vic's face, like it goes from like smiling to serious. And he says, wait, Denaria?
Yeah, that's where I live. That's where my friends have been staying.
I didn't realize Denaria was a real place. Is it true that it's full of bandits?
No. It's a farm. It's a farm community. What do you mean, bandits? It's been there for hundreds of years. It's just a little village.
You guys are actually comically close to Denaria right now. Like it is
Probably like a football field's length away.
It's like right over there on the other side of the woods.
Yeah.
Like you guys could.
I mean,
walk
we
over
just
there.
came there.
Yeah.
Seriously.
What? I thought the only thing around this part of the woods was the pit.
The pit.
Pit.
This is the first time we're hearing about the pit.
Maybe could we sit down by your fire and you can tell us about this pit?
Well, I
We'll be
mean,
glad to share whatever rations we have.
oh, we're okay in terms of food. Thank you for offering. I'm just really shocked that you're all coming from Denaria, and this whole time, guys, and the other two, they've been listening raptly this whole time. And the other two look up and they say, yeah, Denaria. I've heard all types of weird things and rumors about Denaria. And this little boy, the boy pipes up, and he says, yeah, I heard from friends that Denaria was like this place that was overrun with like rogues and bandits who just kind of like steal from everyone and don't work and just kind of, take advantage of everyone around them.
Rand will start chuckling and he'll say, well, I assure you, Denaria is just a small farming community. There are no bandits or rogues or anybody stealing from anything, and I don't know anything about a pit. I'll look at the other two. So, do you guys know anything about a pit?
This is the first time I'm hearing about a pit. But can I quickly ask, because I've read about stuff like this in the past, where are you guys from?
And the first guy, Vic, he chuckles and he says, please excuse me. I was just so shocked at the mention of Denaria. We are from, I'm sure you've heard, Loudwater.
Have we heard?
Well, it's pretty loud water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friends, we are shockingly close to Loudwater. It's like literally right there, maybe like a couple of Quidditch pitches away, perhaps.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Played Quidditch back in my day.
Yeah.
I'll look at the other two like, what are you talking about?
And oh yes, sir.
I was just gonna say this
So-
seems like a classic like Moabites Israelites kind of story where they're neighbors, but they make up stories about the other
Yeah,
one
right.
to kind of like
Mhm.
make themselves seem more important, and it just seems like a classic neighbors shit talking each other kind of situation.
Exactly. Oh, you're from there. One of those.
Yeah,
people.
yeah. Maybe like a little bit of like The Village, if that's that movie with the people in the red cloaks and the
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Do people leave Loudwater a lot?
Yes, yeah. Oh, I'm,
Okay.
I'm shocked that you've never been to or heard of Loudwater. We're a thriving city. It's beautiful. You guys should come visit sometime. But
Do I know anything
maybe,
about Loudwater? I mean, I lived
Rand,
there my
yes.
whole life. I mean,
Since you've been in this area your whole life, you know that Loudwater is the closest big city to Denaria. And Denaria is kind of like in modern terms, it's like the suburbs right outside of
right.
Loudwater.
And Loudwater would be, I mean, how far from Waterdeep? I mean, closer than we are, but
Yeah, okay. So Loudwater is connected to Waterdeep through a very, very long road.
all right.
Yeah, it's
Well, I've never been to Loudwater, so I've heard of it.
yeah.
So I'll tell my friends, yeah, I've heard of. I mean, I've never been to Loudwater. Actually, I've never been anywhere. But anyway,
If it's that close, I mean that could be a good place to get some food. I know Rand, you said you were getting kind of hungry. I mean maybe that could be
oh, that would be good.
yeah. Hey, here's
Okay.
the question to the three gentlemen here. What if you're from Loudwater and Loudwater is like right over there? Why are you camping here? What are you guys doing? If you don't mind me asking.
The old gentleman in the middle, he laughs uproariously. I was wondering when somebody was going to ask that. Vic, come on. You always tell a story backwards. And Vic turns around and he says, come on, Dad. Seriously?
We got an intergenerational story here.
And yes. And the older gentleman says, please pardon my son. He's, always got a lot of things on his mind. I am Vic Sr., and we are actually here because we are kind of hunters by profession. And what we do, we kind of have a family business where you see, the thing is, this area, it's kind of it's a vale, a glade, which is very, as you can see, luscious. We're very proud of that in Loudwater. However, because of how luscious the area is, we often find that we're overrun with certain specific animals. Sometimes it's deer, sometimes it's, boar. Right now, it's boar. And so the government of Loudwater. And it's funny because the Green Regent actually put out this statement, which you usually wouldn't expect, but I hear it has something to do with ecology, whatever it's called. But we were told that
There, Caesar, like, what?
So it's a whole thing. It's like stuff about it's a thing, but that's legit. Yeah, it's real.
So the Green Regent told us there are too many boars and we have to cull them. So every boar skin we bring in, we're getting 5 gold. And this is what we do as our family business. So I'm here with my boy Vic. Vic Jr. nods. Vic Sr. nods. And he says, and we've brought Vic the Third.
I was gonna ask
My-
you, Vic the Third, yeah. Yep.
My grandson, who is just starting to enter the family trade. It's not an easy trade, so he's just starting out now, but he's working hard and he'll carry on our family business.
So now the light bulb goes off. Ryan says, oh, you're harvesting boar the way me and my dad will harvest corn back home. Back home being like 50 feet away from me.
Sure, yeah. If that's what you guys do in Denaria.
Yeah, it's a farming community.
So tell me, how did you hear all this stuff about Denaria? I'm just curious.
And they kind of look at you suspiciously, not like they're not sure whether you're serious or not. But then Vic the Third, he pipes up and he says, well, everybody knows the Denaria people have been breaking into Loudwater's perimeter recently, and like for the last month they've just been raiding our food supplies, and they've been kind of stealing from us, and those Denaria bandits that. And then suddenly, like, he looks at Rand and he goes, oh.
I will say it is possible that there are some bandits from Denaria, but I would like to point out that we are probably the best suited group of people to take care of that situation. Having roots in Denaria, you know, we could serve as sort of like a cultural mediator. You know, I feel like this would be a pretty solid job for us to try to, you know, intercept these rogue Denarians. It's possible that there are some. It's possible. You know, I'm
Red
not
will
saying that.
stand up and he'll start reaching for the sword in his back and say, "That's all lies. My people are good people. We don't steal from anybody." He's like fumbling, like, "Where's the handle of the sword? Where's the handle of the sword?"
Well, I'm just saying it's possible that there is at least one person who is stealing, and that doesn't necessarily make them a bad person.
I'm not yelling at Caesar. I'm yelling at these guys.
Okay.
Right. And Vic the Third, his eyes widen and he puts his hands up and he just backs away. He goes, please don't hurt me. Are you going to hurt me?
So he'll whip out the sword still with goblin blood on it. He'll say, "Don't insult my people."
Oh, Rand, you didn't clean that up first. You're supposed to clean up your sword before sheathing it.
And before you guys start talking ill of my people, you better watch out for your people, because there are ferocious goblins in these woods. See that blood? That's goblin blood, boy. I'm going to try to put it back into my sheath without, like, cutting my head.
Vic the Third just bursts into tears. And he turns around and sprints back into the further tent.
I'll tell Vic the First that you shouldn't let your boys go around spreading lies like that. There's no pit. There's no bandits. There's no anything like that in Denaria. It's a peaceful farming community. I've heard a lot about you Loudwater people, though.
And
your drinks that you make up there, and all the rowdiness, and you're not really like our sort of people.
I'm going to try to diffuse the situation here a little bit. Just as a quick side note, we keep talking about the pit, and I would like to know more about the pit. If we could talk just a little bit about that. And if Vic 3 wants to come back, I can, you know, give my word that Rand will keep the sword drawing to the minimum. Just, you know, let's think about the pit. Let's talk about that. That sounds interesting.
okay, so Vic Senior, he kind of just says, I apologize. You're right. These, son, go get your boy. He's out of control. We've talked about this. Vic Jr. says, all right, I'll go talk to him. And he kind of heads back to the tent. Vic Sr., he looks at you and he says, all right, it's a little grim. I'll tell you what's going on. Basically, from what you all are saying, it sounds to me like there's some rumors going around that are just not true. Basically, back in Loudwater, and I'm sorry if we've all been on edge, but the fact is we've all been hungry for a very long time. Back in Loudwater, a few months ago, our latest harvest got devastated by a mold. And we've all been really just scraping by, trying to make ends meet, trying to put food on the table day after day. And so, yes, we're here to hunt boars, but we're also hoping that those boars will also become dinner and another food source for people. So I apologize for my boy. And what he means with the bandits, well, I guess maybe it's not the Denarians, but someone has been breaking into our food supplies every so often. Sometimes we'll wake up in the morning and just find some of our rations gone. We've been trying to get to the bottom of it, but at this point, everyone's hungry. So I just don't know.
And I just want to say, I understand that, there's some tempers flashing here, but in Denaria, there's also been some similar sort of xenophobic, anti-foreigner sentiment. So, like, it's not entirely you. This seems to be fairly common to this region of the continent. What I don't know, whatever map you're on.
So.
Okay, yeah. So it's not entirely on you. You're all right.
Well, I'll turn to my two companions. I'll say, well, maybe we can help them.
That's what I was about to say. Look, and I talked to I turn to Vic 1 and 2. I say, I'm a ranger. I'm really good at hunting boar or any sort of animal that is around these woods and forests. Maybe I could help you all.
And Vic the third came out just in time to hear that, and he says, "You want to help us?"
Well, of course I do, buddy.
Yeah, I can shoot fire and other stuff, and I can also help. I'm not a ranger, but I got some stuff I can do to help as well.
And Vic Jr. now walks up and he says, "Thank you so much. What a blessing. Wow. I could never have anticipated a meeting like this in these woods."
I was also thinking maybe we could, when we're done here, come back with you to Loudwater and check into this mold business. And maybe you can tell us more about this pit, and maybe we can look into this bandit business as well.
I would like to go back to the pit because I feel like we still haven't fully gotten a sense of what the pit is, or maybe I'm just missing something.
No, they haven't been talking about it.
Okay, I feel like we've been a little cagey about
they're being very guarded about this.
Vic Jr. calls over to Vic the Third and he says, "You okay now?" Vic the Third says, Yeah, you guys can talk about it. I know what the pit is. It's okay.
Okay, I gotcha, yeah.
So Vic Jr., he looks at you and he says, "Well, in Loudwater, we do our best to keep track of who's in town, who our residents are, and like the comings and goings of people. And when people pass away, we do our best to give them, the burial rites and the ceremony that is the most respectful according to their own practices. But sometimes people pass away without any burial plans, and they don't make that known before things happen. And so what we do is, for those individuals, we take them to what we call the pits of the dead. And that's just a large area where we bury those people who have no burial plans."
So it's not like a pit per se. It is a tract of land where there are multiple grave sites. It's not one mass open grave site, right?
It started off as what you would imagine, like an organized ceremony, but cemetery. But over the years, it has, I'll say maybe it's become many family-sized holes in the ground.
This seems like an administrative failure, and I feel like it should be made clear to people who live in Loudwater that they should get their burial intentions notarized immediately, because this sounds like it's a problem that's been going on for a long time.
Well, I'd like to ask, so why'd you bring it up? What's the problem with these pits?
Oh, well, there's not a problem with them. It's just you guys said that you're from around here, and
Uh-huh.
we're southeast of town, and everyone knows that's where the pits are. So, or the pit is.
I've
So
never
I
heard of
just
these.
I just
I've never
thought,
heard of these pits.
all right, wow, well, that's news to me. I thought everybody knew of the pits around here, but
I'll turn to the other two. You guys never heard of anything, right?
I'm new to the.
No.
I'm learning this right now.
I mean, Daenerys doesn't have that problem. We have a cemetery, a burying yard, but we're a
And-
smaller community, and most of us are like pretty hale, so we tend to live long lives.
Vic Sr. nods and he says, maybe there's something going on that we don't know about back home in Loudwater.
Hmm.
And he just kind of looks thoughtful.
Well, it seems like we should probably go check out Loudwater. It seems like there's things for us to investigate there. There's this
maybe we
mold.
can help them get some boar first, and then go off the Loudwater, and it's pretty close to Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Then we could get some supplies in Loudwater.
Yeah, that sounds good. Help them with the thieving problems.
Yeah, check that out.
Investigate the mold. All sorts of things to do in Loudwater. It seems.
Yeah, I'm a farmer's son. I'd like to check out this mold. I mean, we don't want it to spread to Daenerys.
True.
Daenerys.
All right. So upon hearing that, Vic the Third says, they'll help. Dad, did you hear that? And Vic Jr. says, see, sometimes your first impression is not the truth of the person.
I'll apologize for taking out my sword and spooking everybody with it.
And Vic Jr. kind of turns to you and he says, it's okay, boy. We've been there. You're okay. And he kind of just gives you a clap on the shoulder. All right.
Very
And
nice.
so if you'd like to head to Loudwater, it is kind of northward, so you can continue along the same or in the same direction.
Oh, we'll tell them we did see a boar.
Yeah, there
West of here.
was a boar for. It's probably not illuminated at this point because the light spell goes or cantrip goes away. But it was a good looking boar.
Yeah, and it was only like what would it have been, like 50 yards away from where we are now, or
Yeah, it was.
that. So maybe if we continue north towards Loudwater, we'll encounter it or another herd of boar.
Vic Jr. nods,
Pack.
half smile on his face, and he says, you're going to see a lot more where that came from on your way to Loudwater. I would recommend, if you see a boar, either kill it or run away, because I don't know how much time you spent around wild boars, but they are not the cuddliest.
Well, that's what you guys are going for.
Oh, yes. Thank you for mentioning that. If you want to help us out.
Well, wait. If you're here looking for boar, and you just said that there's a lot of boar between here and there, why haven't you captured any or killed any?
Oh, well, we just got here, and we're going to spend the next couple of weeks in the woods trying to cull as many boars as we can before carrying them back to town. If you want to help us in that endeavor, I would say you can kill however many boars you can, honestly, and bring them back to town. If they ask you about it, tell them that you're with the Vics.
Gotcha. Actually, you guys, I feel like I would do more good with the Vix than with. Why don't you guys go ahead to Loudwater, and I can help the Vix with the boar.
Okay. All right.
I don't think splitting the party is a good idea.
Well, I mean, I don't think so either, but I feel like I would do more good as a ranger here than, trying to find information. And I'm really not good at trying to find information in Loudwater.
Well, yeah. So we can go up to Loudwater, and
Okay,
yeah, if you wanna, if we
you want to do that?
yeah, we can find you again at some point in the future, and you can hang out here with 3 guys named Vic who kill animals.
Just try to find Vic and Nifty. The Vic's and Nifty.
Vic's and Nifty. Okay. Well,
Nifty Vicks.
hey, well, Vix, you guys have an amazing member on your squad here who's going to be able to help you cull the boars very, very quickly, and yeah, we'll see you later, and in Loudwater maybe.
Yeah. Best of
Wow.
luck to you guys. Please don't die.
We'll do our best.
All right. Rand makes it known he's not cool with this, but if that's what they want to do, we'll go off. Caesar and I will go off to Loudwater.
All right.
Vic Senior and Vic Junior both they kind of come up and they say, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for opening our eyes to what Denarians can be like, and best of luck going forward. We know the path is not easy for adventurers, especially just 2 adventurers like yourselves. So best wishes. And you know what? They both kind of like reach into their pouches and they hand each of you 5 gold coins each.
Oh wow, thank you so much. Much appreciated, guys.
We remember
I'll look
what
at mine. I'll be like, I don't really need it. I'll give it to Drew. Say, you might need this for wizarding studies.
I mean, Steve, I don't like to talk about this, but I do have a lot of money already, so you can go ahead and take it.
No, please. I don't want it.
Okay. All right. You don't have to ask me twice.
and Vic Senior and Junior are both kind of like watching this exchange, like,
Yeah, he seems a little like seems a little off. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
and they say, all right, best of luck, young travelers. We were in your shoes once. You'll be all right. Just remember to keep your wits about you and keep your eyes open.
Okay, well, luck to you then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll start heading north.
Yeah. And as you turn around, you see that Vic the Third is like trying to hug Nifty.
I try to hug back.
No.
Oh. And as you kind of as you walk away, let's say we can end with you guys kind of like getting back onto the path. You hear the sounds of Vic the Third and Nifty kind of like getting to know each other and laughing and giggling, and you hear Vic the Third's voice saying, "No way, is that a fish?"
Yes. He's the most awesome fish ever. You want to pet him?
Yes, please. Splash, splash, splosh, splosh. All right. So at this point, we can wrap it up for the day. How do you guys feel about ending here?
I think this is a good spot.
Good spot. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you entered the woods. You had an interesting encounter with that goblin. Rand, we're gonna talk about that in the clarity episode for sure.
There's a lot going on there.
There's a lot to unpack this time. I'm so excited. The goblin, the glowing irradiated boar, meeting the Vix.
The 3 people named Vic, whose job is to kill animals. I don't know if that was an intentional Michael Vick reference, but that was very much what I took out of it.
We don't talk about that.
I'm just gonna right up front say no.
Okay.
No, that was not. That was not the intention.
Okay.
But okay. Maybe we can talk about that in the clarity episode too.
That's good.
All right. So great job, everyone. Thank you so much to our adventurers for being here. Thank you, Nifty, for joining us for the last couple episodes. And I wish Nifty only the best with the Vix.
Absolutely.
I mean, just think of all the shenanigans that's gonna happen.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
So I'm also very curious to know how Nifty's going to manage to be stealthy in the woods with a sloshing fish backpack on.
Oh yeah. Carefully.
Yes, but on that note, I had a great time. Thank you everyone for playing. And of course, thank you so much to our audience out there, whether you're watching live or in the future, wherever you are. Hello, thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you next time on our Clarity episode.